Anyway, the point I was making when my phone cut me off is that I certainly have addictions and probably have an addictive personality, probably even the gene that makes alcohol turn to basically meth in the brain. And I've faced those addictions and came through on the other side without any Alcoholics Anonymous or any support groups like that, someone who's able to have a drink or a smoke from time to time, and that's it. I mean, I have drank 8 drinks in the last year. Oh, excuse me. Never mind. I've drank about 8 drinks in the last 6 months. And I just am fine with that. Everything in moderation, right? But I definitely understand the addiction that my parents feel. I felt it too. I understand alcoholics who have a hard time pushing through because it is hard, but human willpower is harder if you're strong enough to make it so. Like, we all have the will within us to be the person we know we ought to be. But, we all make mistakes and we all have weaknesses. Flaws are human too. So, to wrap things up, rapid onset gender dysphoria is something which people, for the most part, aren't talking about. It's something that happens to people, especially young people and especially young girls, for a variety of reasons, but it's a reality that we need to start facing. It's a reality that I had to face growing up and that I overcame before there was a name for it. So as soon as I saw that study, it made sense to me and resonated with my experience in ways that the rest of the trans community and the trans experiences of people in the mainstream didn't. And when I started to talk to other trans people, I found out that a lot of them had had similar experiences. Most of them had ended up undergoing partial or full transitions and regretting it. So I'm glad that I retained my original sex. I'm glad that I've pushed forward as a person who now enjoys more variety in my life than I did in my slightly homophobic youth. I wasn't even homophobic. In my fear of being homophobic youth, I suppose I should say. But I'm not glad. I am angry. I am pissed off that society at large, and especially the LGBTQ community on Twitter, who have a lot of influence in the media at large, are doing their best to push the experiences of rapid onset dysphorics under the bus so that they don't have to talk about it with people that they consider to be transphobic. I think that these are issues worth discussing, that the people who've lived these lives are worth facing rather than ignoring. And, maybe I'm biased because to a degree I've lived this life, but I don't think so, because I apply the same logic to every other group. I think they all need to be understood and accepted, and cutting them into little pieces, intersectionality, can, in some cases, with things like transgenderism, help understand the differences or potential differences between the physical and social sides of it. But when it comes to things like race or sex, really, I think we all just need to stop cutting each other into little categories and treat each other as equally as we can. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think my phone cut me off because it's running out of memory space. I really need to come up with a better filming method, but I've just not been able to get internet to my laptop. Anyway, as always, I'm your host, Louis Cipher. Thanks for watching the Devil's Advocate Debate Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you think below. Sorry for the long video and the short video follow-up. It's a format I hate, but that my phone has insisted on forcing upon me a few times. I think I'm going to do a video follow-up on my self-care video that, oddly enough, will have to do with nationalism. It's a weird tie together, but I've been having a long discussion about exactly what nationalism